Hi, this is Sage Adams again, and welcome to the fourth part of our Learning Microsoft Access 2013 tutorial series. In the last episode, we looked at relationships, what they are, why you need them, and how to create them. And in this episode, we'll look at entering data into our existing tables. Specifically, we'll look at putting data into your fields directly with a table. In a later tutorial, we'll look at entering data through a form, which is the preferred way. But as we haven't looked at forms yet, we'll stick with entering data with tables for now. We'll also look at navigating between records in your table, editing records, attaching files, inserting images, and sorting records. So first, let's take a look at entering data in your tables. This technique works very similarly to entering data in an Excel spreadsheet, and is why many new users create their first databases incorrectly, turns out, as they would in an Excel spreadsheet, by entering all the data into one table and not bothering with relationships at all. See videos 2 and 3 for more information on why you must use relationships. As you can see, it's really very easy to enter new records in a database, especially if you don't have any complicated fields that require attachments. You'll see we've also added a new field called Comic Cover, and I'll show you how to use that in a moment, but for most of the fields it's just a matter of typing in your information, hitting Tab on the keyboard to move to the next record. Simple. If you are using relationships, as you should be, then those fields that use a relationship, like title, publisher, and condition, for the comic books table will have drop-down menus you can use to easily select the data you want. Or you can just start typing the title, for example, that you know you want, and select it as it gets highlighted. It's really so easy. You can just click Tab to skip a field unless you've set its properties to be a required field, which we'll look at in the next lesson. To create a new record, just click Tab on the last field of the current record, and it will auto-create a new record. To navigate between records, you can use the arrow keys at the bottom of the screen. You can move back and forth one record at a time, create a new record, or go to the first or last record using this method. Editing records is very simple. You just click the field of interest that you've already entered data for and type in the new information. Now, let's look at how to attach a file to a record. First, you'll need an attachment field, which is created very simply in the table design view like so. Now, let's say we wanted to attach our comic book cover, for example, to this record. Just double-click the attachment field in question to get started. Click Add, and find the file to attach. Find the file, and click Open. It will now be attached to the record. A significant drawback using attachments in large databases is they will slow down your database performance quite a bit if you use a lot of attachments. Another way to do this, and my preferred way for images, is to use what's known as OLE. First, you'll need an OLE field created in the table design view as usual. Once you've done that, right-click on the field to create a new OLE object and find it. Then open it, and there you go. The file is embedded in your database. This will help the performance of your database, but you must remember to move all the files you embed this way with your database whenever you move it, as they are merely linked to. They are not part of the database. I can't emphasize this enough. I recommend if you use OLE to create a folder for your OLE objects. For example, if I wanted to include comic book covers, I could create a covers folder and put them all in there. Then when I need to link to one for a record, I just find it in this folder. Later, if I need to move my database to a server or something, or a flash drive or whatever, I just move the file itself, the .mdb or .accdb file and the folder covers that I've created, and all my OLE objects will be moved as well. And the linking will stay intact. Alright, so the final thing for this lesson is sorting. Let's look at how to sort your records. We're going to look at queries in, not the next lesson, but I think in a few lessons. And that's going to be a lot more powerful than sorting. But let's just go ahead and take a look at what you can do without creating queries. Just click somewhere in the column to sort the record and choose ascending, for example, or descending. You can just right-click to make that happen as well. And you can also do an advanced sort to sort by multiple fields. So for example, let's sort by title and then cover price. Click Advanced and Advanced Filter Sort. Double-click the field to use for the sort and choose ascending or descending. And then repeat the steps for the cover price. Click Toggle Filter to make it happen. So that's a nice little method to use if you don't want to create a whole query for your database. Maybe you need to sort the records because you're trying to find something, or you need to show your boss some data on the screen or something like that. So it's a handy little device to have in your pocket. Alright, so that's it for this lesson. Very easy lesson, I think you'll agree. And next week we'll look at working with fields, and specifically field properties. So have a great day and see you next week.